Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's starting 11 prediction time for the big one tomorrow at Celtic Park against Rangers. Before we get into it, talk about the lineup. There's a lot of big team news confirmed today, it would seem. For us, before we get into it, we are only 30 odd subscribers away from 40,000. So if you watch all the time, please click the red subscribe button below. That's a massive milestone for us. I know a lot of you watch on smart TVs these days. While you're watching the video, all you need to do is click the up arrow, go along to the channel icon, press up and subscribe there if you haven't already. This video is sponsored by William Hill, Celtic's official betting partner. We've teamed up with them. We've been giving away some great prizes so far in this half of the season. We gave away 2 tickets to the game tomorrow. We hopefully have more prizes coming up. You can check all the match odds by clicking the link in the description below. As always, 18 plus, and visit begambleaware.org. So we're finally here, almost here, less than 24 hours away from the game. Excitement building. I think a lot of talk going into the game obviously about our form this month. Rangers are coming into it in slightly better form and confidence than we are, given that they've just won a trophy, given their progression in Europe. We've had the back-to-back defeats this month in the league to Kilmarnock and Hearts, and there's been more than a few doubts about this Celtic team, but I think that makes tomorrow easy from a motivation point of view for Celtic. You should never be lacking for motivation in this fixture, but I think there should be a few players in the team, and I think the manager as well, to have people questioning their desire and their mentality in the last 6 or 8 weeks. They've got to respond to that. They've got to show us tomorrow that they can go and win this game and take back control of the title race, because we've given away the 7-point lead that we had, and that's due to the poor performances. But as I say, the team should have their backup, and they should be out to try and prove to everybody that was just a blip, and they're out to put the wrongs to right tomorrow. We've got the home crowd with us, and we've got to start the game like a house on fire and go right for Rangers, because that is the thing that makes the home crowd an advantage for us. We can't let them get the better start and silence the home support. We've got to take advantage of that and start the game really well tomorrow. I think that's key in the outcome of the whole game, how we start tomorrow. Obviously today the manager confirmed that Carter-Vickers is out, which is a huge blow for us. When we come to centre half, we'll talk about who will replace him, but he obviously didn't play in the first derby this season either, so that's going to be both derbies this season, but without Carter-Vickers, who's one of our most important players, certainly our most important defender, brings a calmness to the back four. And I think this season the defence has been really shaky, and without him we've dropped a lot of points, albeit we did win at Ibrox without him earlier in the season. I think that's a huge blow for us. And then in midfield, it looks like Hatate is back, and it looks like Abada is available as well. The club have obviously released videos tonight which have got a lot of people talking. It does seem a bit strange. It's almost like an announcement video for them coming back from injury. How much that points to what their role will be tomorrow, I don't know. I would doubt it. I think both of them probably only fit enough for the bench given how long they've been out, but that does give us a boost. The bench in recent weeks, as we talked about yesterday in the preview show, bench in recent weeks have been really weak. You don't really look at the bench and think, well, there's a certain game changer for us. So hopefully with Hatate and Abada available for selection tomorrow, we can have them available on the bench whenever we need them at some stage in the game. Right, so without further ado, we'll get to this team then, and we'll start in goals like we always do. And I think Joe Hart is obviously going to start in goals. I think the back four is where we're obviously going to see a change there, because Carter-Vickers is out. I'm going Johnston at right back. I'm certain the manager's going to start Stephen Welsh alongside Liam Scales, and Greg Taylor will complete the back four at left back. I think obviously we've got this situation with Lagerbielke and Nawrocki where we spent big money on them in the summer. Neither of the two of them have been making matchday squads in recent weeks. That means none of them are available really. None of them are sharp. None of them can start this game. Stephen Welsh played against Feyenoord. He came off the bench to replace Carter-Vickers at Dundee as well, and that means he is the next in the list to be selected tomorrow. I think that back four would make you a bag of nerves looking at it. I think Welsh has done well when he's come in against Feyenoord, to be fair to him, but I think all season the defence has looked really uncertain. To be fair, it's actually in some of the smaller games I think the defence has looked more vulnerable. They have stepped up here and there in the slightly bigger games, but and hopefully that's the case tomorrow. But we need big performances out of all of them. The fullbacks I think are going to be tested in this game. We know Seema's a goal threat for Rangers, and we've not had brilliant levels out of either Alistair Johnson or Greg Taylor so far this season. Both of them have been good in this fixture previously. Alistair Johnson made his debut at Ibrox last season when he arrived and put in some really big performances in this fixture. He's got to find that again tomorrow, because we can't carry people, we can't carry players who are underperforming tomorrow. Everybody has to be right at it from the word go. But as I say, I just can't see any other option than Stephen Welsh coming in to replace Carter-Vickers. If you think there is, and you can make a case for another centre-half, let me know in the comments below. In midfield, it'll obviously be McGregor, O'Reilly, and I think Paulo Bernardo will start. As I say, Hatate being back available is a huge boost for us. I just think having been out for the best part of 6 or 8 weeks, there's no chance he's going to come right back in and start the game. I know that in these games there's often a surprise selection, and that might be Reo Hatate tomorrow. And listen, if he's fit enough, and the manager and the medical staff have deemed him fit enough to start this game and decided that it's not an injury risk, that he's not going to aggravate it or he's not going to suffer a reoccurrence, then that's a huge boost for us, and he would really change the game for us if he can start tomorrow. But I think Bernardo will get the nod. Slightly better performances from him. I know the jury's out on him. It's really hard to read him, actually. It's really hard to determine whether he's been good or bad, or it just seems kind of 50-50 at the minute. So got to go at Dundee though. Hopefully his confidence will be building with back-to-back starts. This would be a third start on the spin for him. I think he's got the best running ability of any of the other options out with Hatate in midfield. So I think that will be the midfield three. We need big performances from them. We mentioned in the preview show yesterday it's likely to be Kieran Dowell and Dujon Sterling in midfield for Rangers. Sterling's basically playing out of position. Dowell hasn't played a lot of football. We've got to get right after them from the first whistle tomorrow, put them under pressure, use the crowd, harness the atmosphere, and try and get at them, because that's an inexperienced midfield that Rangers are going to put out due to their injuries. We've got to capitalise on that. We've got to punish it, and we've got to take control of that area of the pitch, which is always so key in these games. Front three, I'm going Palma on the right, Maeda on the left, and Kyogo through the middle. We talked about this again yesterday. I think Palma being on the right-hand side might not be his strongest position, but I think Maeda on the left is certainly, that's his strongest position. And yes, you counteract, you push Tavernier back, which we've seen multiple times in this fixture when Maeda's been up against him. He's caused them real problems. He doesn't give him a minute with his pressing ability and his running power. I think that's important for us, but I think from an offensive point of view, you also get the best out of Maeda on the left as well. And I know that his output and his technical quality leaves a lot to be desired at times, but I think on the right-hand side, he's even worse in terms of what you get from him, in terms of his output. He's one who's been out with injury, doesn't look back up to speed quite yet either, but I think he has to play on the left-hand side tomorrow. And like I say with Palma, I think if he obviously cuts inside all the time when he plays on the left onto his right foot. I think tomorrow, if he has to take the Rangers fullback, whoever it's going to be, Barisic or Yilmaz, if he has to take them on the outside, down the line, get to the byline, I think that's actually better for us, because that's something we haven't been doing enough of. And if we can get the fullbacks involved from an attacking perspective as well, hopefully we can get to the byline and get some crosses, some good dangerous low crosses into the box for Kyogo to time his runs and get on the end of. And Kyogo obviously misses the glaring chance in the first half against Dundee, still going through this bit of bad form, but his record in this fixture is brilliant, and you doubt him at your peril. I think the Rangers defence will have seen enough from him, certainly not to doubt him tomorrow, and we shouldn't either. I think if he gets enough chances and we start this game properly, he can get on the score sheet and hopefully take another step towards form. I know we've only got 2 games left before the winter break. There was some talk last week about him being maybe only 3 or 4 goals behind where he was at this stage last season. He's definitely a better option than O at all times. And as I say, he's shown in this fixture time and time again that he can do it. And I think if he gets the chances tomorrow, he can hopefully put them away for us. So there you go. That's 11 I think Brendan Rodgers will go with. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. As I say, we're so close to 40,000, which is a huge milestone for us. So if you watch all the time and you want to do anything to help the channel, that is clicking the red subscribe button below. And we'll be back tomorrow after the game with all of the full-time content and a post-match pint from Malone's Bar as well. And let's hope we're celebrating a massive Celtic victory. Thank you.